Sammy?
Yeah.
All
yes,
right.
I can hear you now.
Good,
How you
good.
doing?
How's everything, man?
Everything's great, man. I'm just like hanging out, listening to Joe
He was
Normal,
pretty
you know?
cool, right? He gave you the props.
Well, listen. Yeah, well, look, I'll tell you, when I see the video, right, of Love's Not Fair, I go, man, we were, what great friends, And then I start. Then when the video ends, and I go, well, we weren't such great friends. So basically, Joe said a lot of stuff that basically isn't true about the band. But what do you want me to tell you? I'm not here to downplay anything, But it kind of bothers me in a way where I got to listen to that and go, okay. There's.
No, can we agree that one thing I always say, no matter what, a band makes friendships and rips apart friendships. This is a true statement, correct?
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, there's so many reasons to this band on why that lineup messed up. Okay, so many. And when people get on and start coming down on me for it, they don't know the full story, and I have to sit there and defend myself because it's one thing saying something and then another thing where it's not true. So you sit there and go, hey, the Holocaust didn't happen. All right.
Right.
You know what I mean? I could believe that, and I could believe what really happened. Right. So the whole thing is that with Joe, it's like, it's like just a guy, like, when we were in the band together, hey, we had great times. But as time went on, it basically got messed up, and to a point to where it's just can't be repaired. It's just that it's a shame. But I don't think really Joe, even if I was to say, hey, let's get the Zeros back together and do something, he wouldn't do it anyway. There was plenty of situations where we had a lot of opportunities to do the band again. They didn't want to do it, and it was just like, and I kind of got the blame for it because I'm the so-called leader.
Right. Yeah, you are. You are. And he says it, and he's the first to say it. And he's the first to.
Well, look, he should be the first to say it because the one thing that I think about Joe, okay, is he got burned by his brother. Okay, that's really the problem. The problem is the brother. He pulled him. The brother wanted out. The brother had a girlfriend. This is just one side of the story. Okay,
there's three sides, and there's three sides to every story.
There's 80 sides to this band, but I mean, I don't want to downplay anything. I don't want to get anybody like upset and say, hey, Sammy's on here going, oh, this, what about that? What about? Hey, look, this is what happened. All right, it's really what happened, and that's what the deal is. And anybody could candy code anything they want, but it really comes down to where what happened and what didn't happen. And the one thing that did happen, Joe got pulled out. Joe got ripped off in my eyes, in a way. Okay, he really did, because his brother had a girlfriend who basically kind of got in his face and in his ear about stuff and wanted him out of the band. And he pulled Joe out of the band to cripple a tour that we were doing at Gazzarri. We started the date at Gazzarri's for the tour. And when we started the date at Gazzarri's for the tour, he, is anybody even on this thing anymore? I don't think
there's 65. There's 65 people. I mean, it is sad. So things went wrong. Yeah.
It's sad.
But
okay.
But getting to the thing that people care about, let's talk about what they really care about. That all the people here, the celebration of this great band, man. Me and you were going back and forth. Then I realized, man, I love this band. I love this dude as a singer. You're an icon, man. I mean, is that music ever coming out? That box set that would that ever come out?
I never even.
No, we were just saying there's enough. Joe was just like, there's enough music if Sammy could put out a box set. It's what I mean.
Listen. The bottom line is, I talked to those guys several times about songs that we wrote together, about songs that we did together. or anything else that we did together. And they just blew it off. They didn't want to do it. And I hate to be the guy going like, hey man, like you're an asshole, Sammy, because fucking like you just sit there and fuck this, downplay all this shit. But really it's just what happened. You know what I mean? And the songwriting process in the band, I wrote all the songs. Right. Okay. So basically I started the band. Okay. I saw
which
Joe
said, which Joe said. Time. Joe said that.
Yeah, all right. I walked. All right, sure. The thing is, I was riding down the street and I saw him walking with a guitar, and I said, "Hey, man, you play guitar?" You know, it's like one of those things. In our home. Hey, what town are you from, by the way?
Freehold, New Jersey. Colt Neck and Freehold. Yeah.
Okay. Right.
And I remember you guys being the Stearns.
New Jersey. Yeah. Okay. So he's walking with a guitar, and you know, I started talking to him because I had a band going on, which was the Zeros. Okay. And I decided to find new members for that. And it was like, you know, I was putting in members and putting out, but then I met Joe, and then he had his brother, and he said, my brother plays drums really well, which he did. And it was a good show. It was a good band. We put that together, and, you know, it's just one big.
But the only
mess.
thing, the only thing I do disagree. We probably, I mean, if you're in Guns N' Roses and you do an interview and you're not in Guns N' Roses, like Janet from, you're allowed to put what band you were in. There's not. I don't think that if you were in a band.
Well, the problem, Joe talks like he's still in the band.
I don't think so. I disagree. I haven't seen one thing that says.
Well, he uses the band. Listen, he uses the way. The reason why
he actually asked me to not upset Sammy, and he actually.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
He actually said when I said Godfather of Pina Colada Bang, he said, "Man, that might upset Sammy. Could you take that down?" I was like, "He'll be fine." He actually is very caring about your feelings. To be
well, what do you mean? When you say Pina Colada Bang, what do you mean?
Godfather? I just put a hashtag at the bottom of one of his ads, just joke, because it's just such an amazing song, and he wanted to let me know that it was you that wrote that, not him. He's almost in fear of that.
Oh, how is he not going to let you know?
That's what I'm saying. There's really not a problem. There's really not a problem. Joe has all the props in the world for you, and behind the scenes, everything. He just was in a band for a series. You agree that he did play on stage with the Zeros for a series of years, correct? Yes.
Do I agree with that? As yes. Joe Normal, or as Joe Hutchinson?
Whatever, that body, Joe Normal, but Joe Normal.
Well, the names are a big factor in this band too, because for the first 5 years he was Joe Hutchinson. Right. He wasn't Joe Normal. Okay, I wanted him to be Joe Normal, and if you look on the first record, and I wanted Mr. Insane, his brother, to be Mr. Insane, because the concept of the band was not to get.
But
too
do you think Ace
here,
is allowed to? Is Ace allowed to go do Kiss interviews as Ace from Kiss? Okay.
Let me just finish. It was Serious, Normal, Insane.
This is amazing.
Those were the three. Amazing. Those were the three names: Serious, Normal, Insane. Like Mo, Larry, and Curly. Okay. And then we had Mace, who was another, just a space case on bass. That's the way it was set up. Okay. So the thing was, they didn't want to use those names. All right. Jimmy the drummer, Mr. Insane, and Joe Normal did not want to use Joe Normal and Mr. Insane. Okay. So if you look on the first record, okay, the proof is that it says Joe Normal in parentheses Hutchinson. They didn't want to use it. All right. There was no way.
So you named him. He played under that moniker, if that's it, for years. And you don't think that he should be able to use that name or in interviews?
No.
Do you think Ace Frehley? Do you think Ace Frehley should be able to use Ace Frehley from Kiss?
I don't know the story between Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons. I'm sure there's some red tape going on between that, but I don't know that enough to say anything about it. But I know my story, and Joe Normal and Mr. Insane. The concept was, which
he says everybody
Serious, Normal, Insane, and Mace was the space case on the bass, and that's the way. But
as you walk the strip, that's who I think that man is in that body. When I call him, if someone says Joe Normal, that's he kind of earned that name. He stood by.
Well, Joe Normal was not Joe Normal Joe Normal, Mr. World Normal. That wasn't the character. The character was Joe Normal was a character when you got in New Jersey.
Okay. And this is fun.
There was Joe Normals. All right, there was Joe Normals. Okay, Joe Normal was a guy who worked construction and came home and did whatever he did as a job and came home.
And still admits he
that's what
he
it
works
was.
hard. Yeah. He has no. He's very real.
Yeah, well, he got his song stuck in a job. So I guess he's still working at it.
Nothing fun. I mean,
Look, I'm not out to put Joe down. All right, I'm not out to put anybody
like
down, or I'm not. And the thing is, there's just what happened, and I just don't like people twisting the truth around to make it benefit them, and it just makes me aggravated.
Okay,
that's all. There's things that happen, and they happen for a reason, and whatever happened. That's really what it is. If you want to change history about it, anybody could get on the internet and go, hey, this and that, this didn't happen, and this didn't happen. You want to believe it, go ahead. But I was there and I did it. I mean, it wasn't like, it isn't like something that I'm making up. This is something that happened.
Luke Tierney. Luke Tierney has a question for you. Let me just ask Luke. And I want to end because we don't have a ton on something really positive, a song you wrote that blew my mind. Your amazing artistry, your amazing concepts. Because I don't want to take anything away from fucking dude. You are Kiss level to me. Luke, what's your question? Then I want to get the story of one of my favorite songs out of Sammy. And we got links to all your stuff, what you're doing now, Sammy, by the way, man.
Yeah, okay, cool. Thanks.
What's going on with Luke wants to know what's going on musically now for you. And what do you do now?
I had an opportunity to do a documentary about the Zeros. Okay, this guy called me up. He wanted to do it. We went back and forth. It started getting messy between the guys, and he was going to call him this and that and this and that. So that blew up. Okay, so I started. I kind of jumped the gun on it because I told people about it, and then people said, "Hey, put out the documentary anyway." And I said, "All right, well, let me think about it." So we got a budget for it. And I called those guys about it, Danny Dangerous, and the guy who played Danny Dangerous. I like to say that better. And the guy who played Joe Normal. Okay.
That's weird. That's weird to me. Just for them.
It's weird because it's weird to me too. Because everybody wants. When I look at a Beatles album, I want to see all four Beatles. Okay, I don't want to see two Beatles. All right, that's just the way it is. Sorry, I understand.
Back to what you're doing now. So back to what you're doing.
Okay, so anyway, I decided to call them and see if we could do this together, and they blew it off. I mean, they didn't want to do it, and I hate to do this, man, because it's like, why are you blowing it off? Why are you complaining that you want to the problem is, okay, is that these guys, the 4-3-2-1 lineup, and this is it in a nutshell, wants the band to end with them. That's what they want. They want it to end with them. They don't want to do nothing about getting it back together. They don't want to do nothing about helping it or doing anything to make it work. They just want the band to end with them.
Okay.
And that's where it comes down to. And they don't want me carrying on.
Yeah.
They don't want me doing the Zeros. It's like, it's like some kind of problem, because if they feel they're not in the Zeros, it's not the Zeros. Look, if you leave the band, you're not in the Zeros. You want it out. It's like, I didn't throw you out.
I don't think they want back. I think everybody, we're all agreeing to disagree, which is fine. But I do have to say, man, dude, Pina Colada Bang, you wrote it. This song is like Teen Spirit level to me. I mean, I know it's not, but can we just go off on just something that is so fucking cool and a song that just makes me so happy, and you writing that? I mean, there's so much detail from Jersey to LA. There's so much detail in that song that blows my mind. And
Well, Pina Colada Bang's a cool song, man. And, I wrote it, and it was a great song, and everybody loved it, and we put it on the Names Volume 1 record, and that's really the story to it. I mean, it's a true story, because I used to go to El Pollo Loco.
They had the bang there. You're right.
Yeah, well, that's
and they didn't have it in Jersey. They didn't have it in Jersey. They didn't have it in.
They didn't have. But in LA, they had the orange bang, and they had the pina colada bang. And I would specifically go there and get a 3-piece combo with and the rice and corn and flour tortillas and the pina colada bang. So that was it. So when I used to order that, you had to go to the machine to get the bang.
And it had the colors. Yeah, it was like its own machine.
But just for the hell of it, I would sit there and go, "Can I?" To the lady who was taking the order, "Can I get a 3-piece combo, hold the rice, whatever, corn flour tortillas?" And then I go bang, because that's what I wanted.
Dude.
But yeah, and the Subway, that's a true story because they never did slice the bread the normal way.
No, I worked at Subway when I first got to LA with Jamie Scrap. I had a.
Now they do. Well, now they do slice it the normal way. So it's like, kind of like a drag because it's like they ruined my song.
Oh, you're right.
Because it's like, now, now they slice it the normal way, so I have no bitching about it, So before they used to slice and used to work there, so
yeah,
they used to slice in some kind of
weird
triangle
thing. And I always wondered where the bread went that we threw out. Where the fuck? And Jamie made a sub for Gene Simmons at the 7-Eleven on La Brea, by the way, and he didn't want pick.
Oh, really? What did he get, a BMT?
I worked it there. I worked at Subway when a BMT came out with Jamie. He wanted no pick.
Yeah. No, wait. One thing, if you work there, I got to know. I got to know this from the horse's mouth. What the hell does BMT stand for?
That's a good question. And it.
Yeah, I always thought it said like.
You're right. Well, it wasn't.
I never knew what it stood for.
As a Jersey sub, but yeah, and then it was so new they would send us the meat packets like you would buy in the store. It was crazy.
Yeah, right. It's that so they could put the right amount of meat on. Yeah, you had to weigh it
out. And I remember I didn't know what I was doing, and I was, refills were new at that time in '88 in LA, and some uptight woman walked up to me with her cup to refill it. She had finished it, and I just put it in the ice and scooped that ice, and she just started screaming because it was so, it'd be even worse now. It was horrific.
Right.
But who were your influences writing music? I mean, you write such great songs, dude.
Well, you guys, when I was listening to you and Joe Normal, okay, you guys were talking about Jersey, okay, and we came from New Jersey, and there was South Jersey and there was North Jersey, okay, and North Jersey was up more towards the punk side, okay. That's where my roots are, okay. I'm not from Southside Johnny and Asbury Jukes. I'm not from Bruce Springsteen's land, okay. That was a distant land. Bon Jovi. That was down.
By the way,
Jersey.
BMT, biggest, meatiest, tastiest is what it stands for. I just had to. Okay.
Oh, okay. Thanks. I'm glad you clarified that. But I was up in North Jersey. Okay, so you had in North Jersey, it was sort of like a mixture of hard rock, metal, and punk.
Yeah.
Okay, and down South Jersey, it was like Bruce Springsteen and Horns and Southside Johnny and that kind of stuff. Which was great. I had nothing against it. It just wasn't where I was at. So you had the north side where it was like, it was Ramones, the Pistols, the Who, Cheap Trick, just like Alice Cooper, Led Zeppelin, all this stuff. So my influence is like sort of those bands, and then I leaned towards the blues a lot with. I was like big fans of like Johnny Winter, the Muddy Water, all the blues guys that were messing around. Rick Derringer. I mean, I could go on and on. My mind goes blank a few times, but that kind of stuff I had a big influence on me, along with the Bowie, the Alice Cooper, the Pistols, the Ramones, all the Blondie.
Your songwriting quality, dude, it's just out of control. The level of hooks, the level of music, the level of energy, it's just crazy how good it was. You shot an influence from the glamour punks all over Hollywood. I mean, it really did. It just shot such a huge thing,
I always believed in a good song, whether it was whatever it was. It didn't matter if I was into the band or into anything. like that. It was the song really came first. If it was good, it could be anything. It could be blues, funk, whatever it was. If it was good, I mean, it didn't matter. So there's a lot of even like the metal stuff. You were playing Dio before,
yeah,
right? So I was totally into that stuff. I mean, Priest, Dio, all the heavy stuff, and it's just a combination of all the stuff that just like got into my brain that I really like, influenced me on.
What's a song you wish? Because dude, that's right. Let's put it all aside. We've said enough. What's a song you wish you wrote? Being who you are, and dude, it's not just songs, it's concept. You're operating on a Kiss level to me. I mean, you've had 2 clubs painted your color. Who has clubs, cars, amazing song? It was just you know what I mean. Like I said, it's a dirty trick that no doubt's that big, even though they're great and you weren't. You know what I mean? It's just how it lines up. You know what I mean? But you got just because you were on the same label, and someone I knew at Interscope was really thinking you were supposed to be No Doubt, but. What's a song and a concept you think you wish you wrote?
Well, there's a few of them.
Give me one. Give me one.
Man, it's just like it's hard to say without knowing the song being played out already. Because when I first heard the song, it would be like, I wish I wrote that. Yeah. You know what I mean. But then after a while, you listen to it a billion times, and it's like then there's a new song you wish you wrote. But there's a couple of songs I really dig. Like if I'm walking around the park or something, I'm listening to music, is like look. It's hard when you say wish. Well,
I heard the other day someone streamed some Lazetta folk. I think they were covering in Slovakia. I don't know the country. I got it wrong. Time of Your Life by Green Day. And I was like, oh my God, this song's fucking incredible, man. I didn't realize until someone else did it. To me, a perfect song. And the chills that I got, I said that was one that I would say, man,
There's like so many songs that I could sit there and go, I wish I wrote.
One off the top of your head.
It's hard because there's another one that would match it right away.
No contest. Just give me one. I'm trying to get in Sammy's head. In Sammy's head, man. We're trying to get in.
Okay. If I could say I wish I wrote something as a hit song, okay, it would be probably Hey Jude.
Okay.
Okay. As a hit song. Okay. As a hit song. Okay. If it's a song that I wish I wrote that wasn't really a hit song, it would probably be EMI by the Sex Pistols.
All right.
That's too barren.
I think that's great. That's great.
I mean, Ray Davies was a great songwriter. I mean, there's so many great people.
Well, everything you're saying, you synthesize it all. I mean, dude, when you hear Love's Not Fair, and even that break in it, man, I was like, this is just genius on so many. It's just fucking.
That's a true story. Love's Not Fair, man.
Let's end on that. Let's end on that story because I do have to get to the news with Tom Black.
Well, I was sitting in my apartment, and I had the acoustic guitar, and left like this, and the thing was, can you see me? So the thing was, I was sitting there, and I was waiting on this chick to call me.
Okay. All right, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't know what the story of my life.
I was just waiting there, you know what I mean? And I was there, and I was just going like this. I was sitting there going,
whoa, oh man!
After that, I sat there. I just sat there and said, "You're hot. You're not. Who cares?"
Oh, that's crazy, Sammy.
It was like because this chick was so hot that I was like waiting for her to call, and then it got to a point where she didn't call, and I said, "All right, who cares?" You know what I mean? And so I got into that, and that's how the song was written, actually.
Dude, I got chills. That's crazy. You know what? The person doing it. You know what I mean? That's crazy, man.
Yeah, right.
Man.
I'm glad you like the song.
I love the song, man. And I'm glad you came by, man. And everybody, please follow Sammy. And you'll have to come by again when we get it more organized. I really love that you caught by and
Yeah, we could probably get into some real good stories about the strip.
Dude, your songwriting, the strip's one thing. That was magical. Just watching you play that guitar and sing that. Fuck all your bullshit, my friend. That's it. That's it. I want to see a Sammy Serious acoustic tour, man. That was just, I mean, that you got to admit that rise above everything, man. I really, that really was beautiful, man. And I don't want to not leave on that perfect note.
I appreciate it.
We appreciate it. Can everybody give us?
Do you remember when we played with you guys at the Viper Room?
Oh yeah, with the Blackboard Yellow reunion. Yeah. You had the fucking mic stand.
Yeah. We got to do another show.
I want to I'm thinking that maybe we'll bring the Fizzy Bangers out. What I'm thinking is we might have to go to Vegas where it's a little looser, a little cheaper for people to play. And just bring everybody out and just bring the whole joy of the whole fucking thing out, man. We all destroyed our lives for this rock. We continue. Rock ruined your life, makes your life. But, man, I can't tell you how much I just enjoyed you just playing that and I just shut my mouth and just that's what it's fucking about, bro. And hearing how you wrote that song, you know what the most important, fuck that girl. She did you right?
I got a good song out of it,
a great song. Well, we'll do this again, Sammy. Can we see some flames for Sammy? All right, man. I love you, brother. I'm glad that you said we ended this day in a good way, and I'll be seeing you soon, man.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Sammy.
Thanks,
all right, everybody, flames for Sammy.
Okay.